6 losses in 7, man. 6 losses in 7. You know what it is. I wanted to do a reaction right after the game. But I didn't think it was the best time. I wanted to sleep through it, and analyze it properly the next day. And here I am now. At the time of recording this, Arne Slot made some comments that shows that he's losing the plot a bit. And I wanna explain my thoughts on the game last night, and also why I feel like Arne Slot shouldn't have thrown the competition away like that. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, roll to 300 subscribers. Let's make sure we click the subscribe button ASAP. I appreciate the support. Long may it continue. So let's get into this situation that we're in. Obviously, let me not beat behind the bush. Let me just get straight into the thing. I feel like the team selection was wrong. I feel like I heard his comments in terms of it's the League Cup, so this is probably known for Liverpool to give young players a chance to, what's the word? Give young players a chance to express themselves, get some minutes on their belt. I fully understand that. And given, like, if it was in different context, given that we was winning games and he put out that 11, I wouldn't be complaining too much because obviously the iconic line, bigger fish just to fry. But at the same time, though, we are not in that context. The context is we're losing games regularly, week in, week out. And surely, if you want to get some momentum, get some confidence within the dressing room, because let's be real, the team is low on confidence, the momentum is gone, the manager, Arne Slot, looks clueless at the moment. Like, you get that everything's at an all-time low right now. So we want to get some momentum. And this was the game against Crystal Palace, who has owned us so far this season. Let's keep it up, has owned us. 1 win in 6. 1 win in 6 against Crystal Palace. Glasner has Arne Slot's number. Glasner treats Arne Slot like a dog. Let's be real. Ismail Assar, I don't know what he has against us, but it's getting ridiculous now. Every single bloody time, he always rises. He has his best performances of the season against us. He turns into Thierry Henry every time he plays us. It's an absolute joke. And that second goal, world class move from Ismail Assar. But again, you shouldn't be putting out that 11 when we need wins, we need momentum. I would have started the whole team. I would have started the first team. People say, "Oh, what happens if you get injured?" People will still be complaining. You could get injuries. We could get a player injured in the game against Aston Villa. We could get a player injured against Real Madrid. Like, injuries happen in football, unfortunately. You never know when a player's going to get injured. Football is like that. So you should have started the first team. And even if you wanted to rotate the side, at least have them on the bench. There was no one on the bench. It was so many teenagers on the bench, and the starting 11, we had a left back playing centre back. We had a senior centre back playing that doesn't get game time in the Premier League, and he looks rusty last night. We had Calvin Ramsey, who finally got let out of the basement after signing 3 years ago from I forgot what, Aberdeen. Yes, Aberdeen. He actually done very well, Calvin Ramsey. He put in the second best right back performance of the season for us, just behind Dominic Szoboszlai's performance against Arsenal in that right back position. He was very good. He was winning his duels, making extra recoveries, tightly on the ball. There's no reason why he can't challenge Conor Bradley for a spot right now, because Conor Bradley has not been good enough so far this season. Jeremy Frimpong's been injured a lot. So I wanted to get that out of the way, but there was no options on the bench. It was almost like he threw away the competition away. It's almost like he didn't really care too much about the result. And after the game, he said, I haven't changed my mind on the selection, and I haven't. The selection that I went with, he was happy about the selection, and that hasn't changed after the battering that we received against Crystal Palace, which was 3-0. I believe it was criminal, the fact that he threw away the competition like that. And given that the Premier League is looking a bit sticky for us right now, this was a prime opportunity to go after a trophy that unfortunately we lost in the final last season. Why not try go one better? No, we decided to throw it away and make it 6 losses out of 7. So yeah, dark. In terms of how the game went, I feel like for the first 35 minutes, I feel like we done decent. I feel like that 3-4-3 formation that we set up with, I feel like players, I saw more intensity, I saw more urgency, I saw better pressing with the system that we implemented with the players that was on show last night than I've seen from the senior players for the previous 3 to 4 weeks. That's where you can look at the senior players and think, what on earth are you doing? Because I haven't been seeing the urgency that I saw within the first. In fact, for the majority of the game, I haven't seen it with the senior players for the last 3 to 4 weeks. Feel like players were comfortable in their roles. We was defending better. We was keeping the ball better. We just couldn't penetrate Crystal Palace defense in the final third. We couldn't. And again, it was lack of quality. I feel like yesterday's game was decided by quality. Crystal Palace had way better quality on the day, as they had senior, experienced first team Premier League players that plays week in, week out in the starting 11. Whilst we never had that. We never had that for the majority of the squad that played yesterday. We never had that at all. And the quality shown, they was able to bring on Mateta after they was winning 2-0. Do you get it? Who do we have to bring on to change the game? I saw Mo start eating the fruit. I saw him eating the fruit watching the game. You get it? So it seems to me that no one took this game seriously in terms of the Liverpool, the manager, Arne Slot, and I feel like I can't really get onto the players. I can't get onto the players that played today because I feel like Arne Slot definitely threw them under the bus in some sort of way. He said that we had trouble playing against Crystal Palace with our starters, so this lineup doesn't really change much. But at the same time, though, he's basically saying the first team can't beat Crystal Palace, so what's the point of playing them? Just play the second team and see what happens. He knew that we was going to get smacked up. He knew that he was going to get cornered by Crystal Palace with that 11. When I saw that starting 11, I was like, yep, writings on the wall is done. We are not winning this game. We're out of the Carabao Cup. And that's exactly what happened. In terms of, the first 35 minutes, I liked what I saw. And ironically, he changed the system. He tried something new with a squad that hardly plays football. Why not implement that style after the international break when we lost to Chelsea? Why not do that then? Why do you have to wait until we held more losses for you to try to change the system with the second team, even teenagers if you want to go, if you want to stretch it a bit more? So yeah, man. Now I feel like management has been terrible so far this season. Coach has been terrible so far this season. In this particular game, the system was not the issue. Quality decided the match. But in terms of analysing this terrible run of form that we have, management on the floor, tactics on the floor, and comments is just as big of an issue as the performances and results right now, because he's paying attention to Manchester City's 11 and what Chelsea's doing rather than turning our form around. If you saw the comments, you'll know exactly what I'm on about. And I just feel like, number one, your concern shouldn't be about Manchester City's 11 and Chelsea's squad. It should be about turning our form around because it's abysmal. Number two, you chose this starting 11 when he's saying, they was able to bring on players, whilst Rules only able. When he made 2 substitutions, he had 6 teenagers on the bench. You picked the starting 11. You chose to put the players that we saw on the bench yesterday on the bench. You chose to do that. No one put a gun to your head to put out the squad that you put out last night. So I'm not trying to hear that. And then the third one, you was given the keys to get rid of the players that you want to get rid of and bring in the players that you wanted to bring in for around 400 plus million in totality. You and Richard Hughes had a big say in transfers, and you want to complain about squad depth. Maybe you should have invested a bit more in terms of the depth, because you had enough to invest in that. So I'm not trying to hear the squad depth excuse either. I just feel like he's losing the plot a bit. And these 3 games is massive. Now, I still back Arne Slot, but I'll be lying if I said that this can continue. This can't continue any longer in terms of us losing week in, week out and putting in dreadful performances after dreadful performances. Because we're not playing football right now. We're not. We haven't been playing football all season, if we're keeping it a buck. So Aston Villa at home, Real Madrid at home, Manchester City away. If we lose all 3 of these games, I don't know what's going to happen. It's after the international break. Whatever happens, happens. If we win these 3 games with a different system, then I'll be the happiest man alive. And hopefully long may that form continue if we can win 3 games in a row against 3 difficult oppositions. Aston Villa's on form right now. And if we draw them 3 games, it's not good enough. I don't know what's going to happen. I have a funny feeling that we ain't going to win any of the 3 games, unfortunately. But it's massive for him because he threw away the competition. So, number one, I'm expecting, if Arne Slot is going to stay till the rest of the season, I'm expecting him to bring us a trophy. Because you can't go trophyless with the summer that we have. The money that we spent. We can't go trophyless. That would be criminal. And I don't know what to say. I genuinely don't know what to say. That is terrible run of form. We shouldn't have thrown away the cup competition. 3 massive games coming up. I don't know what's going to happen. Senior players need to step up. He needs to change the system. The 4-3-1 is not working. You changed the system yesterday, it didn't work, but I think it's because of lack of quality, not the system. Try implement that system again, or even try something different, but don't go to a 4-2-3-1, because if a manager is trying to change stuff, but results are not coming and performances is not improving gradually, I'll give the manager more time, because it takes time for a new system to implement within the players and for the players to buy into what they want. You understand? But it's when you're playing the same system, it's not working, you're being stubborn, you're not changing. That's when the issue comes. So, yeah, man. People are saying the writing's on the wall for these next 3 games. If it goes wrong, I'm still backing him, but I'll be lying if I said this can continue, because, boy, it's looking like a nightmare season already, and we're touching November. Thank you guys for watching. Leave your comments down below in terms of what you think of our situation right now. Was Arnie not right to throw away the competition like that? Was he wrong? Let me know your thoughts. And until then, I'm out. Peace.